Spencer Lewis here for the Sunset Speedway YouTube page. I'm here, we're just putting the wraps on the first round of the MRE Pro Series. I'm here with the Sunset Speedway regular, running under Pro Late Model specs here tonight. The Iron Man, Gary Elliott, and Gary, definitely, I mean, there's no way I could even preface it. A horrible, horrible wreck for you guys. Definitely not the way you wanted to spend your day.
No, you know, we had a bad enough night last night, Saturday night on the regular show. And I was a little bit reluctant even today to race because I didn't know if I wasn't that competitive last night. I wasn't sure that I would be today. But we changed the clutch, we changed the carburetor, we took out 700 pounds of lead, and, well, okay, 150. And we were actually pretty good. And we finished third in the first heat, and we made a little change on the car, and I was happy with the changes that we made. But we got hooked up in a bad deal in the second heat, and it pretty well messed up our car for a while.
Now, would that be considered one of the wilder rides you've been on in recent memory?
Well, my daughter is probably one of my biggest fans. She don't cry very often, and she was really, really scared and upset. I think when I got out of the car with blood in my hand, that even made it worse.
Yeah.
That scared her a lot. I would say yes. The first impact was pretty bad, and I don't know that that's the worst one I've had, but when I followed up by the other one into the infield, that was pretty hard. So the combined, I'd say yes, it's my worst one.
Now, when you popped out of the car, made sure you're right, and almost instantaneously you were over speaking with the #1 car, Jackson Jacobs, 14 years of age, making his Sunset debut. And what was said between you guys? Because it seemed you went over there in a calming manner. What was said when you kneeled down and spoke with him?
Well, first of all, he had been having trouble in the race, and so I just went over and said, "Hey, what happened?" And he said, "Man," he said, "I'm sorry, my car washed right up," which it did. And he said, "I didn't mean to hit you." I said, "No, I know." And so I said to him, I said to him, I was surprised that you weren't wrecked as well. And he said, "No, I thought you were going to roll over." I said, "No kidding." I said, but I said, "Listen," I said, "it's cool." I shook hands with him. I said, "Don't worry about it." And then I just walked away. And that was good for me to do it that way, to handle it that way, because I don't like to have a grudge against anybody. I don't think anybody deliberately does things. But when guys either apologize right away or forgive you right away, it sure does make it a lot easier to move on.
Now, you'd mentioned that somebody from that team actually followed up with you a little bit later on.
Yeah, you know what? This was amazing because I watched the feature in the grandstand, and that was tough enough to do, but it was exciting to watch my son race and the other 26 guys that were out there. It was a great race. And as soon as the race was over, this lady came up to me and said, "Hey," she said, "I'm Jackson's mother." And she said, "I just want to thank you for the grace that you extended my son." And I was taken by it, and she almost brought tears to my eyes. And she said, "If there's anything that I want my kids to learn is what you taught them tonight." And you know, it took me a long time, probably 20 years of racing before I would be able to race that way and you know, just take my helmet off and get out of the car and not freak out on everybody. But I've had to learn too. So you know what, racing is about. Racing hard can have accidents, and not too many guys deliberately do stuff. Some people do stuff if they don't think. But if you can extend a hand to say, "Look, you know, it's cool," and that's your way of saying you forgive them, or if they come over and say, "Look, I'm really sorry, man," and you also forgive them and just say, "Okay, no problem," without threatening and things like that, I think it makes it way better.
Now, obviously, I'm sure you guys won't know the extent of it till you really get it home and take a look at it. But how bad is the number 36 man?
Well, I need probably 3/4 of a body. Most of my body's gone. I lost 3 wheels. I lost almost all of my suspension parts are gone. I don't know if the rack is gone. I'm not so sure that the frame is bent, but the right side where the wheel, when I hit the wall and rolled the wall, the wheel went back into the roll bars, and there's a lot of damage there. And my rear end has got some bent bars. So it definitely needs to go to emergency tonight, for sure. And so actually, you know what, I called Mike McCall, and I'm gonna go tomorrow morning and drop it off at 6 o'clock. 7 o'clock, I'm gonna drop it off. So I'm leaving my place around 6. Then I go pick up my wife in the hospital. She just had knee surgery. So if I can get my car out of my house, then she'll know that I won't be sneaking out the garage to work on it, because I don't want to miss a night.
So the plan hopefully is to be back next Saturday?
Listen, if I'm not back next week, the Ironman is a jinx, like it's a hoax or something. No, I got to be back because I come to race. You know what? If that's why, you know, a lot of people, my fans, some of them are gracious and understand, but a lot of people say, why do you back out? Why do you know, why didn't you go in further? Why don't you retaliate? Because I want to come back next week, and I don't retaliate, and I don't drive in hard. I don't want to spin anybody out. I don't want to get spun out either. But at the same time, if you can listen, if third is the best you can get, or fourth, although I'd be really appreciated if I could get that good here. But if that's all you can do in one night, you're better off to take that than try to extend it and wreck your car. And so, you know what, I forget why you even asked me now, but my car will be fixed for next week, yes. There is a lot of damage, but you know what, we'll get it back for next week.
Now, so you have a blog, a website going. I love reading your postings. It's awesome. So what's the website address? Where can we check you out on the internet?
Oh, ElliottRacingTeam.com, and I have a section on there called Diary of a Season. So what I do is I write my reflections on a day at the races. So I have to write about 2 this weekend. One will be Saturday night's sort of disappointment, and then of course today, I don't know if Saturday night was disappointing. God tapped me in the shoulder, said wait till tomorrow. I know, but you know what, it's really, I got a great crew, I got great sponsors. I'm so thankful for Quaker State and Open Doors and Scripture Union and all the sponsors that I have that support me, and Elliott Contracting, who's from local. And you know what, I mean, it's all about the people. And listen, can I tell you something? We tried to get my car out in the feature. We wanted to take 1 lap. We wanted to go out there, but we just had too many broken parts. I mean, my crew worked hard to get it so we could even load it, never mind go 1 lap in the feature. But anyway, we love racing, and I love the sport. I loved it since I watched it when I was 5 years old.
Well, we are so thrilled to have you here. I'm just happy to see you're all right, because that was just a heck of a run into the wall there. And to hear that you guys are going to put it back together, that's fantastic. We'll definitely all be checking out the website this week. Thanks so much for taking the time to talk to us.
Thank you.
There you go, folks. Driver number 36. It's the Iron Man, Gary Elliott.